Mr. Daydream is definitely exactly what I think this Mr. Man character could look like. He looks like a blue fluffy cloud, and I think that works very well, ignoring the fact that clouds aren't blue. But actually, Mr. Daydream is not necessarily our protagonist. Straight away, we learn that Jack is actually the star of this story. And we get a little introduction to Jack and how he is a very nice boy, but he is a daydreamer. And when he's in school one day, he begins to daydream and meets, when he is daydreaming, the character of Mr. Daydream. And together they go off on all kinds of fantastic adventures and encounter all kinds of different people in different environments. Yes, that's a crocodile. It gets a little bit frightening. And they go to different locations, even different countries. And this is all happening while Jack is at school, of course. And eventually, Jack is pulled out of his daydream, and the teacher acknowledges that he has been daydreaming. And I think that's, it's an interesting narrative. I hope it doesn't encourage children to daydream, because it says at the very end, and I don't agree with this, daydreaming is more fun than history. Well, actually, I don't think that's true. Yes, daydreaming is great. Yes, using your imagination is fantastic. But history, especially history that children are taught at school, the Vikings and ancient Egypt, even Victorians is quite an interesting history for young children. So I don't think it should really encourage the reader to daydream. But I think maybe it's nice to acknowledge that even the kindest, most polite children can sometimes daydream as well. And this is what we get with Jack, so it's worth acknowledging. It's not a bad story. I think it's a fun adventure for young readers if a young reader is a daydreamer, which, I think daydreaming is not something that children do intentionally, hence the type of daydreaming. But it can make them feel like they're not alone in doing that. But I just don't like the message at the end. That kind of ruins it for me. But otherwise, I think it's a pretty fun story that will at least appeal to the target audience.